Hey there, it's Susan of Susan Harmon Experience, and I'm here with my friend Tonia Swanson, the big T, Tilo.
Tilo.
Tilo. And let's just talk about being a woman.
Yeah.
Being a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, there was some song coming in my head, but it just kind of went the other direction. So she's going to be on the Susan Harmon Experience on KKNW. Look forward to that. We're talking about a lot of things in that hour. This is just going to be a very short, very short teaser, if you will, for YouTube. So you can subscribe to the Susan Harmon Experience channel on YouTube, and that'd make me very happy. So let's make me happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Making me happy is a good
thing.
Please
make Susan happy.
Thank you so much. Anyway, back to being a woman.
Yeah.
We were both talking about, I sent her a song, and I've been sending it to a lot of women. Beth Hart, one of my favorite singers, she's really has a wonderful voice, and it's called the Bad Woman Blues. If you have not heard Bad Woman Blues, you need.
You do.
It's on YouTube. Really it's on YouTube. Just switch over after this and listen to Beth Hart sing my new theme song, Bad Woman Blues. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
I know. So Susan sent that to me, and I think the one thing that really stuck out to me, and Susan and I kind of talked about this earlier on her radio show, was the good girls lose.
Good girls
always lose. And so I was telling Susan my path of like having people tell me their story, and I was this nice girl, and with that nice. And so I couldn't talk back. I couldn't say no. I couldn't set up boundaries. I couldn't do all of this stuff. And as I've kind of awakened on my spiritual path, I'm like, I'm not a nice girl. And I'm tired of people telling me that. Right. I'm a really strong, intelligent, talented person. And these people were telling me this, I feel, to keep me down a little bit, whether they were doing it consciously or unconsciously. But that's
it's kind of ingrained in all of the culture. It's not just American in our culture, or European, or Asian, or African, or whatever. It's ingrained universally that women must be kept down because women, you ready?
Scary.
Dangerous. Yeah. Women are scary. They're dangerous. Right. Because have you ever talked about the way men talk about fair fighting? If we're going to get down and start fighting, there's no fair. Right. There's no fair.
Well,
if you're at that place, if
you want to lose,
if you're at that place, then there's no fair. Well, now the idea for me anyway is you don't go to that place. You don't need to go to that place because I've got my intellect.
Right.
I've got my voice. I have my energy.
Exactly.
To work with you, and find some common ground.
Right.
Instead of you're wrong, I'm right. I'm gonna beat the heck out of you.
Exactly. And so I think as women, we're told these stories, right? And we put out this energy, and we attract people who kind of fulfill that story.
That's right.
So, and once you change that, what I've noticed is those people are starting to leave my life by choice, or by me saying you can't no longer be in my life.
Exactly.
And then
your time is up.
Right.
Time's up.
I'm done.
That's part of the women's movement now.
Right.
Time's up.
Time's up. I'm done with this. And people who are much more supportive of who I really am, the strong, intelligent businesswoman. I'm running 2 businesses, been doing it pretty successfully for quite a few years. And I'm attracting more of those people who support that authentic self.
And here's the thing to note, and I'm an independent business person, it does not negate being a great mom.
Right.
It does not negate being an incredible lover.
Right.
It doesn't negate any of those very feminine, very wonderful things that we do and who we are.
Yes.
But we're more than just this little thing, this little box you want to put me in doesn't fit me. I can't stay there.
Right.
I don't have walls.
Well, I think that
And the boundaries are different.
In boundaries. Well, and I think I was thinking in my head that if I wasn't nice, that meant I wasn't kind and I wasn't caring.
Right.
And that is not true. What I really realized is that that's not true. I can be kind and caring and not necessarily be nice, per se.
I want you to share with the people on YouTube
Yeah.
what you said your 15-year-old daughter when she was
Oh,
10.
my God.
And you were telling her to be more nice and all of this.
Yeah. So my daughter, who is very gifted and very, I would say, progressive, she's definitely a different child than I was.
She's a green horse.
Yes, she's very honest, brutally. And we were talking, and I was telling her, Kara, you need to be more nice. You can't say things like this to people. You have to be nice. And she looked at me very matter-of-factly.
Age 10.
And didn't even like, oh, I'm going to be mean to you, Mom. She just was like very matter-of-fact. And she said, Mom, what did nice ever get you except being a doormat? And I was like, whoa. First, I was like mad because I was like, "Don't you talk to me like that, young lady." Like that. And then I was like, "Oh shit!" Like,
yeah,
she's right.
She's right.
What has it ever gotten to me? And so, I think that was one of my spiritual
big awakenings.
Yeah, two by four kind of thing is having her kind of like.
I don't generally need a Mack truck to get my attention.
I always say I need a sledgehammer for it to get through. Unfortunately, I'm trying to change that actually.
Yeah.
But
got it. Don't hit.
But she kind of really, and I've seen her and her interactions with other females and males and friends and stuff, and she has really strong boundaries. Really strong.
That's excellent.
And so she's always like, and she has no care in the world. She's like, no, you're going to do this. And I'm like, you're being bossy. And she's like, yep. And she owns it. And I love that about her. And when I see that, I think to myself, you know what? I am that way too. I've just never allowed myself to be that. And I want to be that.
Right.
More like her, more like my daughter.
And we don't have to say things like, well, people expect women to do this. Or, if I wasn't a woman, I would. Just forget all that. Just be yourself. Right. Just be your true, authentic
self. And we talk about this all the time, but I think once you are your true, authentic self, not only are you more happy, but you will find that people kind of change around you. Opportunities open up that you never thought were possible.
Honestly, I just had this happen. A woman had contacted me about being on the show because of this song that they had done, and then they were toning in it. And when she called me, there was just some kind of a instant connection on the phone. And I did a little bit of toning on her over the phone. And now they want me to come to LA and sing with them.
Wow.
See, and so it opens, it broadens, it widens. And we find ways to work together.
Right.
And not like, well, this is what I do. In fact, we were talking about that false superiority. You were talking about the woman only wanted to deal with evolved people.
Right.
Well, who's evolved?
Right.
And how do you know?
Exactly.
Because they told you they were evolved? First clue, they're not evolved, is they have to tell you how evolved they are. Some of the most absolutely incredible people that I have known who've taught me more don't look like anything. There was a woman in New Mexico down near, it's north of Silver City, but south of Albuquerque, down in that area. And closer, I think, to Truth or Consequences. Anyway, she wore these old baggy house dresses, smoked cigarettes, walked around barefoot, ate greasy, food, She was the most right-on psychic you've ever met. She was clear as a bell. She was blah, blah, blah. And these sprout heads, as my friend would go down there and get a reading, and they'd say, I don't understand how she can be so good, and she doesn't eat the right foods, and she doesn't wear the right clothes, and she's fat and flabby, and she's this and she's that, and like, is the message clear? Well, yeah, it was right on. Right. Well, then shut up, because she's telling you what you need to hear.
Right.
Quit looking at the outward part
Mhm.
of this woman and understand. I'll tell you what, she's 10 feet tall with long blonde hair and green eyes.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Exactly.
But she needed to wear this thing, this body, this
Mhm.
everything, so she could be heard to those who authentically want to hear what's being
Mhm.
said. I'm sure she's probably passed by now. That was some years
Right.
ago. But it's you can put all the trappings on all day long. You can eat the right foods. You can wear the right clothes. You can say the right things. You can make the people that you're around like you because you agree
Mhm.
with them. Or you can be yourself. And the first thing with that is discovering who you
Who you
are.
are. And what I find with both of my businesses, both my graphic design business and my spiritual business, is there are a lot of people walking around who have no idea who they are. And so I always say that when I struggle putting a logo design or a brand together, it's a representation of who that person is. And if they don't know who they are, we cannot get through the logo design process.
You could probably do a good logo design for me.
I would, because you know who you are.
I know who I am, right? So I think we've really touched on what being a woman is about, and for all you men that are watching this, be the best man you can be. You are wonderful in that male body, and I adore you. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye. Do 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 do. So long.
I think it's still recording.
Yeah, I think so.